I'm seeing with new eyes, even in the dark. Let's go get lost. Just take my hand, ignore the cost, forget the plan. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night and stay in this street for we Can we turn back the night and stay in this street for we Can we turn back the night?
What is good, Nimfam? Welcome back to the Christmas special and final Team Help Ultimate Champion stream of the year. We have some very exciting chances to win packs today, dotted throughout the stream, so you have to stay tuned and stay listening because there's a couple of things you guys need to do to be in for a win. But we're going to do an extended stream for the special, so get those questions into us. We want to do a bit of a Q&A towards the end of the stream if you guys are up for that, so make sure that you let us know what your questions are. But as always, I'm joined by the lovely SpeedyQ. How are you doing, buddy?
Good evening, Nim. Very, very well, thank you. Another busy week of UC running with a midweek football game, some basketball games in between as well. So very, very exciting, and obviously getting into the Christmas cheer as we get nearer to the big day.
Absolutely. And I hear that you got on quite well in Gameweek 113. Would you like to talk us through that?
Could have been better, but yeah, as you can see, I got a 5th place. I seem to always just end up outside of those podium positions where the champ amount increases a little bit more. But yeah, a great 5th place. You can see I had a pretty decent team. Did the do not play trick with my subs, which kind of bit me a bit because I should have technically had Konda on the bench, and if one of my other subs, you'll see Perry G, if he had scored a bit bigger, I could have potentially been in those positions. But another decent game week. Also finished 7th in the under 23 pro division and earned just over 5,000 MGC. So I've got this little goal that I've set myself where I'm targeting that top of the range holo pack. Hopefully I can get it in 2024 and not 2025, but that is my goal. And
I have seen on Twitter. I've seen the Twitter countdown. Let's say that you've been up to. Everyone loving our little outfits today. So we thought we'd get into the festive spirit for you guys. Why not? Wouldn't be a Christmas special without having a bit of fun, would it? So we have had a lot of fun here, and Speedy, we need to get into telling the viewers how they can win their first festive treat of the stream in the shape of a silver pack, please.
That's it. As the guys can see there, and as you mentioned, there are 3 potential giveaways during the stream. Before I jump onto the silver pack for Game Week 135, just on our previous stream that we had last week, which was the top athlete scorer for game week 133. We had a tie between Sizan and Crypto Sparky. They both selected big Ronnie Edwards, who scored 276 points in game week 133. Unfortunately, there had to be a loser. Did the magic spin yesterday, and congrats, Sizan. He was our lucky winner of that silver pack. So very, very well done there. And then on to this week, we're going to keep the silver pack exactly the same as we do every week. I think it's nice to get the community and our listeners selections for the upcoming game week. So which athlete will score the most UC points in game week 135, which starts tomorrow? Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel. And remember, only live comments will be considered for the silver pack winner. So good luck and select wisely.
Yes, do make sure you select wisely for that. So make sure there are a few different chances to win some things throughout this particular stream. So as we say, stay on it, but get those guesses in now for the silver pack, guys. So, okay. Go on, buddy.
Sorry, just before I start, and if you've done it already, don't worry, we'll have a look, because we're potentially going to have another pack up for grabs with answers in the chat. If you guys don't mind, for the game week 35, using game week 35 and your answer. If you've done it already, don't worry about it. And then for the next one, we'll give you information of what to put in as well. Apologies for that.
That's okay. I'll just put it in the chat, actually. So silver pack, game week 135 guesses, so people know. So get those in, guys, for the chance to win a silver pack. All right, then. So we will kick off with how our tipped players got on in game week 113, because we like to go over how our players did in the previous stream.
That's it. So we'll start off with Will Vokes from Sheffield Wednesday. As you can see, once again, a very, very decent score on Ultimate Champions. No highlights. However, as I mentioned last week, they got the clean sheet and he got some club action points, and that combined with his possessive and his defensive stats ensured that he got a great UC base score of 217 points. So great selection there, and I hope many of you put him in your game week 133 team. Then Mr. Aaron Collins, only 10 minutes. I'm so glad he came on, otherwise we would have had our second do not play in a row. I was actually under the impression that he was rested for the game against Leyton Orient. We did mention last week that he hasn't been in the best of form strike rate in goals and assists like he was last season. But yeah, he never started again. He came on late in the second half. As you can see, only played 10 minutes, got 30 points. So we'll just have to monitor the situation with him, especially over the festive season, and make a decision whether we want to use him or not. And then last but not least, our Frenchman, Stijn Spearings, obviously playing for Toulouse. They did lose. I thought they would sneak it against Lyon, but our friend Mr. Lacazette, who used to be at Arsenal, decided to come to the party for a change and score a hat-trick. So yeah, he didn't do too badly. He still got 103 points, even though conceding 3 goals. And once again, just like Will Vokes, in the heart of that midfield, scoring nice possessive and defensive points on Ultimate Champions.
Yeah. Just a reminder, guys, do make sure that you either put top athlete or game week 135, just so we know that your guesses are definitely for the silver pack, because Dominic Kappa said gold, ? Oh my God. Maybe a little bit later, buddy. Maybe a little bit later. But we need to differentiate between the packs. So we need you to let us know what your guesses are for. So this one, we need just either like a top athlete or game week 135 next to it. Cool. And before we continue on with 135, we always like to recap on how the teams we did in game week 113 we picked out for those, don't we, buddy? So should we talk people through that?
correct them. So we covered basically the athletes that we covered. We covered the same teams last week. Sheffield Wednesday continued their recent great form and it was a very, very commendable result for them. Their recent form is 1 draw and 2 wins in their last 3. They did, however, stumble last night, losing 3-1 to Norwich. So that ended that little run when they were edging themselves closer to getting out of that relegation zone. So they'll need to keep fighting over the festive season. Then Bristol Rovers versus Cheltenham. Bristol Rovers was our team. It ended 1-1. They have now lost only once in their last 7 league outings, though, so that's great for Bristol Rovers. They will, though, be very disappointed only to come away with a draw. Cheltenham currently sitting at the foot of the table. And then lastly, as I mentioned earlier, Lyon versus Toulouse. Toulouse got a little hiding, and it was all Mr. Lacazette's fault. I think Lacazette had 3 goals before the start of that game. Ooh. And he's doubled his tally because of the hat-trick to 6 goals.
Yeah. Good old Lacazette. Remember that guy?
He was potent. I really enjoyed him when he played for Arsenal. He was always, for me, very, very committed and things like that, which was fantastic. And I'm glad he's playing at Lyon. And I know last season he had an exceptional season, goal scoring and things like that. And it looks like he might be kicking off. There are a couple of him still bouncing around on the marketplace and in people's collections. So if you can get your hand on one, it might be the start of something special.
A Christmas miracle.
For the season.
A Christmas Lacazette miracle. Cool. I just want to give some shout outs to people in the chat. We have Ryan, we have FPL Thinker, Dominic, So Legendary, hey guys, James, Flip, Lewis. There's so many. So guys, we've got 33 of you watching now. I am 51 subscribers away from the big 7K, and I would absolutely love to get there. I'd love to get there for Christmas, but I'd absolutely love to get there before the end of the year. So if you are going in for these packs, make sure you're subscribed. But just for anything else, we try to give you the best information here every week for Ultimate Champions. So if you could just pop us a subscribe, it's free. You've got all these chances to win. It would mean a lot to us. So thank you so much. And with that, actually, Speedy, we can jump into our next chance at a giveaway. What do you think? Shall we give these lovely people a chance to win a jumbo pack?
Let's do that. So
okay.
We're going to do the jumbo pack, and this is quite an exciting one. We want to know, and drop it in the chat, and maybe put in jumbo and then your actual prediction. But we want to know in Ultimate Champions in the 23-24 season, who is the UC Ultimate Champions athlete that has the most points out of all of the games in the 23-24 season? We know who it is, and we'll be able to share that information, but we want to see if any of you can put out some correct guesses. Like I say, if there are any ties, we will do a draw later with the spinning wheel to make sure everyone can see it, and we'll see who that lucky winner of that jumbo pack is.
Yeah, so we've got in UC 23-24 season. Just writing it down so they've got it in the chat. Who is the UC athlete that has the most points? That's what we're looking for, guys. And make sure you stick jumbo next to it, please, for us. Thank you. Just you can still enter the first one if you want to. That's fine. All good. Just just make sure you differentiate between which ones you're entering, so we know. Okay, we did a little graphic leading into the busy festive period for you guys. We've broken down some of the UC teams that have some of the most favourable matchups during this time, and we'd like to share some info with you guys regarding that, wouldn't we, Speedy? But we're not gonna go through everything because it's quite a lot, but hopefully there's a few bullet points here for you guys.
Yeah, what we try to do basically is just to cover the leagues that are potentially going to be playing over the festive season. We must remember that your Slovakia and your Serbia, etc. They take a little winter break now, so just take note of that. They won't be playing again until I think late January, early February, whatever it may be. So we just focused on some of the leagues that are basically coming up, and you can actually have a look at these fixtures and pinpoint which fixtures you might select certain athletes from those teams. So obviously we'll start with Arsenal. They've got Brighton, which is going to be a tough game. Liverpool, which is going to be a ding-dong battle. I think that's 2 days before Christmas, so very, very exciting. And then West Ham and Fulham. So there's some potential to select some players from their team. We've got Reims from the French league. The French take a little break over Christmas, so as you can see, there are only 2 fixtures there. I would say Lens is the tougher of both of those. Hibernian, look out for them. They've got a lovely run of fixtures. Their toughest one is against Hearts. But Hibernian really playing great football at the moment. They're 4th in the league. So target those St Johnstone, Ross County and Motherwell fixtures that are coming up. Then on the English League One, Bolton and Peterborough are really playing great football. Yes, Bolton did have a recent loss against Portsmouth, who are currently top of the log. Bolton are 2nd, Peterborough are 4th currently. They have got really, really nice fixtures. I looked at their away form as well, because as you can see, there's some away fixtures there. In their away league form, they are the top 2 out of those English League One teams that we've showed those fixtures for. Blackpool, Charlton, not too hot away from home, and they've got a couple of away fixtures. But like I say, have a look at the ones in between and pinpoint some selections, because those 4 teams in the English League One have some fantastic players that you can select from. Then our newly joined team, Barcelona, they haven't been playing to the best of their ability lately, especially after that 4-2 loss they had last week against Girona. But Valencia and Almira, and then Las Palmas early in the new year, 3 fixtures that could kickstart their season and get some great points from their athletes. You've got QRM. I'm covering just because they're in the French League 2, Bastia and Paris, more or less around them. So potential for some players there. And then lastly, and second lastly, your English Championship, Sunderland and Cardiff. Some decent and some tough fixtures because of the away fixtures mixed in. And then Tranmere, I had to mention Tranmere. They've actually played very similar to Sheffield Wednesday and Queen's Park Rangers. The last couple of games, they've actually started to play decently and get some results. So that will also be interesting to see, especially for your Tranmeres, your Sheffield Wednesdays and your Queen's Park Rangers, where they will be after this busy festive season, with them being in the relegation zones.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to just to say to you guys, there's a lot of new names in the chat, so thank you all for joining. You do need to be subscribed to enter, please. That would be fabulous. Also, we don't just want your guesses. It's all about the community engagement. So we would love some questions from you guys as well, because I'm going to do just like a bit of a Q&A towards the end of the stream. So make sure you get those questions in as well. Cool. So Speedy, it's that time, I think. We've talked about the fixtures. We may as well give them the teams, eh?
May as well. The ones for game week 135. First one, Voluntari, Romanian Superliga, obviously. They've had an amazing recent run of form. I think they're unbeaten in their last 5 with 3 wins and 2 draws. They've scored 11 goals and conceded 7 during this time. So always exciting matches with that goal scored to goal concession ratio. They've mentionable wins against Ferrol, Universitatea Cluj and Rapid, which are 3 decent teams in the Superliga. Just be careful, though. They have also picked up 3 red cards during this period. So you get the best of the goals, the worst of the goals conceding, and some red cards thrown about as well. They do play 14th place FCU Craiova at home in Gameweek 135. And I think with the home ground advantage, they should edge this, especially with their confidence and recent run of form. I would look at their defenders and potentially forwards for potential selections for this upcoming game week.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I love all of those pickouts, Speedy. Got one or two, but not many athletes from these teams, to be honest, as you know. But we're working on it.
Yeah, it's exciting. I can remember the day when Romania was released. There was the chatter within the board about what's going to happen, how we're going to get to know their players. But really, like any of the new, like your Serbias, your Slovakias, the summer leagues that came on board, you start to watch their games, you start to follow them on SofaScore, transfer market and the sites like that, etc. And you start to pick up knowledge that actually at this stage it becomes a bit second nature on the teams and the athletes that play for them and things like that as well. There's also a great community within Discord where there's a lot of members that know, for argument's sake, the Romanian league or the Serbian league, etc., where you can learn and get insight. So that's where it comes to that community engagement, discussion points, and learning, which makes it quite exciting. But I'm going to jump on to another team that is in the relegation zone, but they have really been playing some nice football lately, which is Queen's Park Rangers. As I mentioned, they're in the relegation zone. However, I think they're about 2 or 3 points away from climbing out of it. They're unbeaten in their last 4 games, winning 3 and drawing 1. They also have an enticing fixture against Sheffield Wednesday. So it's going to be an exciting one. You've got 2 teams in the relegation zone that have been in relatively good form. Yes, Sheffield Wednesday has home ground advantage, but because of their loss midweek, I potentially think QPR could maybe do something, but it's all up in the air. And you can potentially get some differentials from Queen's Park Rangers to put in your lineups for Gameweek 135. That could be exciting and could be the difference from moving up or down the log.
Yeah, absolutely. Radu, what is your guess for Ronnie Edwards? You need to tell us which pack, buddy. You need to tell us which pack. just in there. Go on.
No, you don't carry on them.
I was just going to say, talking of that, just wanted to give some shout outs. There's Sergio, Antonio, Dominic, Brojo in the chat. Lots of really good new people. There should have been for you guys a graphic popping up on the screen whenever you guys subscribe, because I've just done a refresh and I can see that there's a fair few of you that has subscribed today. So thank you so much. Not really sure. The little elves have been at it, obviously. They've had a lot of fun messing up my stream by the looks of things. So yeah, just remember, guys, if your guess is for the silver pack, then do make a note that it's for the top athlete or game week 135, and if it's for the jumbo pack, then make sure that you put jumbo next to it, just so we know. And do get those questions in. Are you stuck between what player to play this week, maybe wondering which tournament to put somebody in? Just ask away and we'll do our best for you.
Fantastic. You mentioned Ronnie Edwards, and I want to jump into Peterborough, and I would actually rate them as one of the form teams of the season that is on Ultimate Champions. As I mentioned earlier, they're currently 4th in the league, playing some fantastic football. They've scored the most goals this season in League One, and they've also kept 9 clean sheets to date. They also have a very favourable fixture this weekend, Fleetwood, in Gameweek 135, and I can see more goals and a great potential for a clean sheet there as well. It's easy for selections from this team. You can select any one of their starting 11, and I suggest if you are putting them in your lineups and you have many of them, put as many as you can in your lineup and max that limit that you are allowed per game, because they are really playing great football, scoring goals, not conceding. So anyone that you put in will be a benefit to your team, I think.
Max the baubles out of that Christmas tree. So to speak. Jack says, in all fairness, his answer are for both his packs is Ronnie Edwards. Adonis says, I'm not new. I know that, buddy, but I'm just giving you a shout out, just giving you a shout out. Cool. Right then. Whew. getting through this, aren't we? We're doing good. We're doing good. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. Shall we look at the 3 players ahead of game week 135? Maybe we'll give people some inspiration on who to enter for the pack win.
That's it.
Cool.
So we'll start with Igor Armas. Obviously plays for Voluntari. He's the Voluntari captain. Very, very consistent UC scorer, no matter what the scoreline is. So what that means is basically whether they concede or not, he still scores decently. He plays on the left of a formidable back 3, which include Ricardinho and Matt Riccardi. I would have selected Rick, and here's a little tip if any of our managers don't know, I would have selected Ricardinho. However, he is suspended for the upcoming game week due to reaching 4 yellow cards. So just make note of that, and don't put him in your team as he's suspended. But Armas's last 3 matches has seen him score 174, 166 and 161 points. He consistently plays the full 90 minutes when fit. Yes, he's 36 years old, but we've got a thing in Romania, since I've learned about them, is that age ain't nothing but a number. They play well, and they do very well. So I had a look around the marketplace. Here's another hint for the community. There are no visible cards on the marketplace. However, I did see an expired listing that is available if you want to go and search for that. Expired listing is someone has not taken it off the marketplace, so technically you can still go and search for it, and it's potentially still there available for purchase. So that's just a little hint and a little secret to the champs that are listening and potentially don't know about that.
Ooh, we like little secrets. We like that. Christmas special info.
It's always. Then I'm going to jump onto Elias Jehl. He's basically been part of why QPR has been playing well lately. I can remember when I first started playing Ultimate Champions, when I still first started watching the lower divisions, because that's what it did to me. Is obviously I'm a big Arsenal supporter. I've watched the Premier League. It's my male soapy that I've watched for many years. But when I started UC, obviously it opened my eyes to the other leagues. So when I started watching the lower leagues, etc., Elias Jehl really intrigued me because of his quickness, his speed. He has 4 goals and 2 assists this season, with 1 goal and 2 assists coming in his last 3 matches. He has UC scores in his last 3 of 221, 160 and 189 points. They play Sheffield Wednesday, as I mentioned earlier, so it'll be a relegation battle royale. But I think his form should continue. And there are lots of mythics and epics on the marketplace if anyone's interested.
Lots and lots. Get on it.
Yeah, quite a few. And then
I loved your little backstory there. Sorry, buddy, before you crack on. I loved your little backstory that's how you kind of got sucked in. So I like that. It's really interesting.
That's the thing. I've always loved fantasy sports and things like that. And when I got it was a friend that basically introduced me to Ultimate Champions. Right in the alpha days, when it was alpha, it wasn't even in the beta stage. Moved to beta, started watching the games, and as we started building your collection, so you start watching and keeping tabs on various other leagues that you potentially never did before. And if you really want to manage your players and your athletes, and you're able to put in the time and the effort, and you do your research, you can build yourself a nice collection, manage them like a proper manager, and hope they score well, and you can win something, which is a cherry on the top.
Absolutely. Love it. Oh, so who we got? Who's our 3rd and final pick?
Ricky Jade Jones. I think I've owned his epic since last season. Before Peterborough went up, but he never performed. And this season, the whole of the beginning of this season, he hasn't been starting, he hasn't been playing. But I think the last 6 or 7 games, they've dropped Johnson Clark Harris. He's taken that place over. He's scored 3 goals and 3 assists in his last 6 games. He's had 4 massive green scores in his last 4 matches, so he's basically on fire at the moment. Fixture with Fleetwood coming up, as I mentioned, and as I showed you earlier with our fixture list, a favourable run of fixtures over the festive period. So he's one to start in your lineup, and you can potentially go and see if there's any on the marketplace as well.
Yeah. Ooh. He is on our thumb this week, so he has been the chosen one. He has been the chosen one. Okay, guys. I've been fiddling with the alert box there to see if it's working. It should now be working, so any new subscribers should be popping up. And we did hit over 40 viewers there a minute ago, so thank you all so much for joining us on this Christmas special. Do make sure to like and sub and share if you can. Also, got a couple of questions as well for just a second there, Speedy, which I'm kind of trying to keep note of from the guys. So any more questions, just keep them coming in. Jack says Speedy over under Shane Larking 275 base tonight. Big eyes.
Nice. I think he's speaking about basketball, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the old basketball. We mustn't forget that UC does have the whole basketball side of things. We don't cover it here on this stream, but it's always a good way to get yourself a little MGC or a little champ for sure, isn't it?
Yeah, the game week's currently running. So they had the Euro Cup games on Monday, and I'm trying to think where we are, on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then tonight and tomorrow are the Euro League games. And obviously there's big hype on the Euro League games because that is the elite competition of the European basketball, etc. And obviously a nice some little banter on which teams are going to outperform who.
Yeah. And that's the fun thing about this, is all the banter and stuff, isn't it? It's always good to have a bit of a laugh. With that, hopefully we're going to make somebody smile now with our last giveaway on the stream. That's not to say if you've only just tuned in, you can't go back and enter the other ones. You can do. If you scroll up, I've put a little comment as to what you need to do for each of them. But this is the big one. This is the big Christmas sack from Santa. It's the gold pack time. Speedy, tell us how the guys can get the old big one.
So we're not going to give this one away. We want you guys to earn it, and whoever's in the stream, whoever's commented in this specific live stream is very, very lucky. Because what I did earlier today is I created a little private league. It's called NIMS Festive Cup. It's going to run from game week 135, which starts tomorrow, up until game week 139. So it'll basically cover the festive season up until, I think it's the first game week in January. What's on offer is that gold Winter League pack that is available. And that the winner, number one in that league, will win. What I need you to do is, after the stream, DM me, which is direct message in Discord, send me your manager name and your UC email address via DM. I will then send you that private league code. Guys, don't go share that private league code around so other people join that we're not within this live stream. This is for you guys who support
Santa.
us and come and watch us, etc. Myself and Nim will also join the league. We want to be competitive against you, see how we compete. We won't take the gold pack away from anyone, but we want to see how we can compete over this period with you guys. And obviously what we will do is, once we have our winner after those 4 game weeks, we will then go back to the stream and make sure that that winner has been present and was in here before obviously announcing and sending that lovely gold pack. So what a way to start the new 2024 season out, with a gold Winter League pack where you will get a mythic and an epic.
Yes. Secret Santa style, guys. Get into the spirit of it. Have a little bit of fun. Keep it to yourself. Get in the league. So go to Speedy, DM him, get in the little league that we're going to have going, and then whoever wins it will get the gold pack. I think that's really cool. It's a nice little thing. And just remember, you need to be subscribed as well to the channel. So yeah, just a little kind of, But
And remember to DM me, guys, before the kickoff tomorrow. Very important, so I can add you to the league. If I add you after the kickoff, the first game week score is not going to count, and you'll be handicapped on the scoring side. So send me the DM through, and I'll start this evening and then tomorrow as well, to make sure that you guys all have that private league code.
Yeah. We did have one question here, Speedy, from a Ruslan saying, why no Leverkusen tips? Do you want to just kind of quickly answer that?
Why no
Leverkusen tips?
Oh, there's no need to give Leverkusen tips. I think they're playing some fantastic football at the moment. Very similar to your Peterborough at the moment, where you can basically look at any of their starting 11 and select it. We will start recovering teams and things like that, but as I've said on previous other streams, we don't want to just cover the top teams over and over. We want to cover a variety of the various teams. All you need to know about Leverkusen is play Palacios and play Zaka and captain one of them, and don't forget Florian Wirtz. He's having a cracker of a season.
Yeah, and my subscribers are finally working, so you will have seen that CJ has subscribed. So thank you so much, CJ. Anyone else who subscribes from here on out, you should come up on the screen. So all good, all good. Thank you all for that. And yeah, just Palacios captain. Actually, on that note, I'm going to give you guys a little sneaky peek of my UC Tier 1 team. This is who I currently have. Obviously, I really want to compete in the Pro. So before tomorrow's kickoff, I am going to see if I can find myself a little epic somewhere. A little mythic somewhere that will allow me to go up into the Pro tournament, because that's kind of where I would like to be competing now. I have around 1,700 champs, so I'm keeping my eyes open and my ears open. So if anyone's got any deals going, I'd like to get into the Pro, because if I could use some of these cards, these good epic cards, right, Speedy, in that tournament, that'd be really good. So that's kind of my aim, to get just one mythic that'll allow me to go up into Pro. But this is how I've kind of lined up at the moment in the fiver side. So what are we saying, Speedy? Am I looking strong here?
I'm pushing them to scrap this team, and we get that mythic, and we're putting these players in one of the Pro divisions with the rest of your epics, because whether you were very selective in your purchases, a lot of your epics, especially the winter epics, because the summer leagues are obviously over now, are quite decent players playing for fantastic teams. And I think if we do get that mythic before kickoff tomorrow, we need to set you a strong 11-a-side team with that mythic in like I say, one of the Pro divisions, and then we can look at what we've got left and enter potentially a five-a-side. Yeah, so that's my thinking. But if you go with a team like this, pretty strong team. Barcelona's got decent fixture coming up against Valencia. I saw midweek in the draw, Kunda actually played in as centre back and not on the wing, which was quite interesting. Trayu, Sunderland haven't been doing the best lately, but he always scores decently. Permacap, Ezekiel Palacios, and Junior Ito has been on a great run of form for Reims as well. So it is a very, very strong team. Bernd Leno playing Newcastle. Newcastle unfortunately got knocked out of Europe last night totally. During the game, they were going through to the Champions League, and by the end of the game, they didn't even qualify for Europa, which was a bit sad.
Yeah.
Leno always makes many saves and performs well in the Premier League. So yeah, I think it's a very, very decent team. But hopefully we can migrate them to the 11-a-side.
Yeah. Absolutely. John, Pat, welcome. Mac, if you scroll up, you should be able to see my posts for what you need to do for each of the packs. We have had over 40 people here today. Thank you all so much. I hope you're enjoying the stream. I mean, we bring this kind of love every week, right, Speedy? I know it's the last one for the year, but we will be back in the new year giving this to the peeps. So make sure you're subscribed and you hit that little, give that little notification bell a little tickle, and it'll tell you whenever we're going live again in the new year. So this is my team. We do have a pretty cool affiliate scheme going on at the moment at UC. Would you like to tell peeps about that?
Thanks very much. Yeah, we've got about 60 or 70 to date that have already been validated. So it's open for anyone who would like to click on the link and become affiliate and try and bring some new users, new managers to Ultimate Champions. There's a nice little reward system going. As you can see, 20% on auctions, and then an equivalent of 3% of any marketplace sale price that basically occurs. We all play our part, become affiliate, market and advertise UC a little bit, get people coming in and earn some passive income by doing it. The link is there. You can have a look in Discord as well. There is a whole channel designated to the affiliate link where you can actually just click on the link and it'll take you there. And within 7 days, you should be validated, and you can begin your journey with bringing people to UC. There are also some nice little rewards for obviously the new champs that join through your affiliate link. But we're just waiting for further feedback on exactly what that will be, and there will be a release and an announcement for that as well.
Cool. Love that. Right then, so it's Hangout question time. And we have a few questions from peeps, so bear with me while I just go through them. The first one I've seen does relate to another question we've had. So, first of all, we'll start with Grant Smith, and I'll let you answer this, Speedy, because you're pretty good at helping me with this. He has asked, what is the sub trick, please?
The sub trick. So that is what you do is in your actual starting 11. You can put a potential injured player or a suspended player or just a player from another league that potentially doesn't have a game that weekend, as we call it, do not play into that team. So let's say I put one defender as a do not play in. Then I can potentially stack my bench, which are my substitutes, by putting 3 defenders there. What that will mean is that the highest scoring defender out of those 3 that are on my bench will automatically come in and score and replace that do not player. That goes the same for the midfield. It goes the same for the forward. As we say, it's a double-edged sword. What might happen is your do not play player or your sub-trick player might come on for a couple of seconds, and then obviously you do not get the points from your bench. But we use that a lot, and it can also obviously impact other players around you. What a lot of people do is we put 2 do not play strikers up front and we put 3 on the bench. But then what happens if one of your midfielders or defenders do not play? You don't have cover for them. So it's if you're certain, we're never certain these days, but if you're certain that all of your players are going to play, it's a little trick that can be used within Ultimate Champions to gain a little advantage if it works your way.
Yeah, and so we had a kind of follow-on question, let's say, from So Legendary. He asked very early on, so thanks buddy, I did clock it. He says he's addicted to the sub trick. Do you think overall that is a worse strategy than having the actual subs? So that's interesting. Do you think it's actually worth doing?
I think it can be worth doing. I do it frequently. As I say, you also got to take your collection into consideration. I maybe don't have as big a collection as certain other managers. So potentially, when I want to enter multiple divisions, if I put 3 defenders, argument's sake, 3 midfielders or 3 forwards in that slot, I am keeping those athletes away from me entering stronger teams in other divisions. But if you want to put your focus on one, and try it 100%. I wouldn't necessarily try it over the festive season because, as you know, within a certain amount of days, there's 3 or 4 games. Managers have rotation and things like that. So your certainty of whether they will start or not is not always there. But it has worked. It's a surety that if all of your other players play, you will guarantee get your top scoring defender or midfielder from your bench joining that specific position. So it's an interesting one. I would say it's good at times, it's bad at times. It's all dependent on the manager himself and if he wants to take that chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a shout out to Focus. Hey, buddy. Thank you for joining the stream. And Civilized Gunner, the big dog, is in the chat. Loving it. Okay. They've been saying that they hope you're ready to be prepared to be spammed. They're Speedy with all the people wanting to enter our league for the gold pack. Your DMs have never looked so good, buddy. They've never looked so good.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. My exciting days are Wednesday evenings for the football quiz. I get 10 DMs from the top 10 because of their details. on Thursday nights, tonight, a little later, the basketball quiz, I'll get 10 DMs from them. But yeah,
let's see if we can beat 10, guys. Let's see if we can beat 10.
Sure, if there's 40, there's a gold pack on offer. I'm sure we'll be able to beat most of them. And the big dog Civilized DMs me quite a lot as well.
Oh, I. We don't need to talk about that one. But yeah, I mean, a Payot says, Speedy, good thing there aren't 300 of us here. Maybe one day, but yeah, we maybe have to rethink the situation if and when that becomes the case. Okay, I think I did see another question up here. Bear with me a second, bear with me. What have we got? I swear we've got such good chat here that it's going through it. Do you want to just remind the guys what they have to do for packs, buddy, while I have a quick look through the questions?
Of course. So for the silver pack, don't forget to select who you think will be the top UC scoring athlete for Gameweek 135, which starts tomorrow. And then for our jumbo pack, we actually want to know who is the overall top UC athlete scorer for the 23-24 UC season. So who scored the most UC points as an athlete in that specific period of time.
Yeah, and please be sub to the channel as well for that. A bit jealous of Lewis that he or she picked up a Leno very late for $15. Such a steal. Good bargaining there, buddy. Good bargaining.
Lewis, I'll offer you 20.
It also says, do you think there'll be another Community Cup hosted? Said
the Community Cup was very, very cool. I think definitely in the new year we need to do it again. Another thing that I want to do as well, we also had watch parties over the weekend, one for football and one for basketball. So how they work basically is that on the Saturday or the Sunday, whatever the day was, we would chat in a specific channel regarding the football games, and then throughout the day I would have random questions where the managers can win certain prizes like Champ, MGC, packs and things like that. Community Cup, though, definitely I will make sure that we run it again. It was great camaraderie, and I think it hit the nail on the head in getting managers and sometimes managers that have never actually spoken or communicated within Discord or social media to work as a team and get to know each other, and also to part important information from experienced managers down to your your newer managers, etc., about the
Yeah.
game. It was a great success. As you know, it was like a tournament setup where teams competed against each other in a group phase and then moved on to the knockout phase, etc. It was very, very exciting, and definitely in the new year, I will try and arrange something for that.
Cool. Matt asks, do we think Tom Holmes starts this weekend? Any idea if Tom Holmes might start this weekend?
I've been seeing him in a couple of the Reading lineups lately, so the potential is always there for him to start. He started midweek. I can recall seeing him in Reading's lineup, but like I say, it all depends on the manager. I had the same issue with McIntyre. When McIntyre, he's obviously injured now for a bit, but I've got his Mythic and I've got his Genesis Epic, and I was playing with him. He was young, so he was scoring well, but then the manager started to chop and change and things like that. So because of his recent playing, yes, potentially. But if you're not sure, do the sub trick and then you cover yourself, hopefully.
We had one from Nazrat. I'm gonna try and say this properly. Skreklu? Is that right? SCR.
Skreshu.
Okay.
Skreshu. Yeah. It's from the Romanian league.
Or Luke Onan. Which would you play? He's asking.
Who was the second name, Nim? Apologies.
Luke Onion. Onin.
Oh, Luke Onan from Sunderland.
Mm-hmm.
I would say either or. I think they're much of the muchness. Look, obviously, as I said, Sunderland haven't been doing fantastically well. They are playing away from home, if I'm not mistaken, against Bristol City. Bristol City's been doing quite decently lately. So potentially Skresho could get the nod, maybe just slightly over him for this upcoming game week.
Okay.
And then you can shout at me. And then you can shout at me next week for getting it wrong.
Like I do on a regular. No, joking. Thinker says, at FPL Nims, question for me: do you think Arsenal will be top of the table post Christmas, or bottle it? I mean, dude, come on. Do I think? I don't think we'll bottle it, but I do wonder if a couple of draws might be in us over Christmas. We look a little bit tired. We look a little bit tired, but then Nelly and Saka have potentially had a rest now, as long as that wasn't injury. I mean, it's been touted as a bit of a knock why they missed the Champions League game, but I think it was just a perfect chance. We'd already qualified, so I think it was just a perfect chance for them to be rested, to be honest. So I think they will start on the weekend. I'd like to go with my boys and say we'll be top, but I think it'll be close. I think there's a couple of games. Christmas is always a funny one, right? It always pulls out some random results that you just don't know. What do you think, Speedy? Do you think we'll be top post Christmas?
The potential is always there. I'm just like you. I've been a Ghana supporter for many years, long time.
Don't tell everybody our age.
No, long time. That's about it. So we were obviously gutted last season when we failed, as people said, choked or whatever it may be. But like I say, last season we had the youngest team in the Premier League. We were building. Yes, we had great potential to move on in those last couple of games, which we dropped. This season, I see us being a lot more harder to break down. We are still getting those late goals that are saving us those or keeping those wins and crucial points. Yes, we've just had a recent loss against Aston Villa. Aston Villa are flying. I mean, they beat Man City the week before. It's very exciting in that top four. What's key is going to be this weekend's game against Brighton at home, and then the 23rd of December's match away from home against Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool, Arsenal in the top three at the moment. That'll be key, and then potentially, yes, we could be top at Christmas. But I'm not worried of being top at Christmas. I want to be top at the end of the season. So still a long season to go by. Still many games, still many top teams to play each other. And as we know, Premier League is a grueling league in world football.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Flip says Ricardinho is suspended? Question mark. Ruslan said
Yes.
Ricardinho has a yellow card, so will probably miss the next game. Just confirming that. Yep.
Yeah, he's suspended. He's got 4 yellow cards. Like I say, I did some investigations. I was really going to use him, and then just to be safe, I reached out to someone in the community that I know knows Romanian football very, very well, and it's confirmed for suspension. So he's out for game week 135. And just on that, so everyone knows, Claudia Petrilla from Rapid, who was on fire since his loan from CFR, he's back in training. So he's probably not going to be ready for this game week, but the next game week, he should be good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody said here, Speedy is addicted to do not plays. Oh,
I am. I have them scattered around all my lineups on a regular basis. It just happens.
Yeah, yeah. It just happens like that sometimes, doesn't it? What packs in the store are the best bang for your buck these days? Rob asks.
I would say it all dependent on your collection score and what you can actually achieve. If you're starting out and you can build your collection score up and look at your silvers, that could potentially be good. I would say if we're looking at division wise, obviously your UC international tier 1. You're getting from your top tier clubs, so your Barcelonas, your Arsenals, your Leverkusens, your Wolfsburgs, etc., etc. Your under 23s, I love under 23s. I love getting players that are young, whether they are performing brilliantly at the time or not. And seeing what they can potentially do in a couple of seasons' time. One prime example is Claudia Petrilla. I think I've had his Genesis Mythic for 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. He was one of those that would peak now and then and have a good game and then a couple of bad ones and a good one. This season, since he's moved to Rapid, he's been on fire, and I'm so happy that I held on to his card through that specific time. So I would say UC International 1 tiers, your winter packs as well, and then your under 23 packs. And if you guys have above 5,000 collection score, and you have retention skills that you can save your MGC,
then you're very lucky.
Go for the holo pack like me.
Yeah. Cole, that pack looks so pretty. I'm so jealous, Speedy. One day, maybe. One day I'll get there.
Don't be jealous, Nim. I might never get there. It's going to be a long haul.
Okay. Did we have any more questions? We'll give you guys just a few more minutes just to get some more questions in, and I'll just Mac, how do you get the gold pack? You need to DM Speedy on Discord and enter our little league. That's how you get a chance of winning. Jack says, when is the BB Community Cup, the Basketball Community Cup? Do we have one of those on the horizon at all, Speedy?
We have. Is he speaking about the Community Cup now, or the normal monthly cup? Because obviously we are running currently. We are running the football monthly cup and the basketball monthly cup, which is also a type of private league that you can earn rewards. So the top 10 after each, whatever those game weeks are for that edition, will earn rewards, and the top 3 at the end of each of those months then qualify for a special tournament that we will host at the end of the season for basketball and football. If you are chatting about the basketball Community Cup, we'll definitely look into doing something like that as well in the new year. At the time, I think basketball was still relatively newish when we not newish, but when we kicked off the actual football. But don't worry, we will not forget our basketball community. I bounce around there quite often in Discord, and I'm learning a lot and trying to build some decent teams for that sporting code as well.
Yeah. Pyatt says, Speedy, he bought Jack Marriott. What do you think? Will he score more this season against weak teams?
Jack Marriott is a strange one. I actually, when I was in the market for some forwards, I was having a look around at the marketplace and I saw him there. He is just, if I'm not mistaken, in the last 3-4 game weeks, he's just come back and started to play a bit more regularly. I think he's a very, very good striker. And I think, especially not necessarily just against weaker teams. Once he's got his form, once he's got his confidence, he's got those minutes under the belt, I think he can potentially score against anyone that he plays. Potentially similar to Alfie May for Charlton. I have his epic. I love playing him because I think he's one of the most consistent strikers, no matter who they are playing against, whether it's the top half of the table or the bottom half of the table. He always seems to get a goal, whether they win or lose. So hopefully, with him getting some minutes under the belt, Merritt can score some goals and score well for you.
Yeah, Bosun says, nice to know Nim is also an Arsenal fan. I am, and I'm a little nervous about this Brighton fixture, if I'm honest, because it's the one that I went to the Emirates for UC Champions, my first time at the Emirates last season when we got absolutely spanked. And it was no pleasant experience. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this Brighton one. Thinker says, any players with 0 points cost like Petrilla that is expected to start in game week 135. Well, that's a tough one.
What was the question again? Just the first part of the question then?
Any players with 0 points that cost like Petrilla that might start in 135.
Not that I can think of offhand.
That's a bit of an
when they
out
say
there one.
when they say cost 0 points, I just need some clarity on what that haven't been playing that potentially will start.
Okay, let's see if Thinker kind of clarifies on that. Rob, for the monthly footy comps, do you have to enter a new one each month, or does it roll over, please?
It for the monthly football cup, you don't have to enter a new private league. What we do is like this morning, for argument's sake, the game week 134 ended. So what we basically did is I took the screenshots. I've actually announced the top 10 because the second edition has completed. What we do behind the scenes is we reset the leaderboard to 0. So you remain in exactly that same league. And when the game week starts tomorrow, game week 135, everyone will start as 0. And it's a fresh one, race through the third edition's game weeks to see who is the top 10. So that's how we do it.
Cool. And Thinker said, like L15 is 0.
No, their last 15 is 0. I can't think of any offhand. I'll have a look around. I know what you're thinking, potentially in the capped divisions or tournament divisions that we potentially have. If you have a 0 player that might potentially start, it could help you fit in other more expensive players into that lineup.
Yeah,
I've got a couple of those. I'm waiting for Chris Cadden, I think he did an ACL from Hibernian. He's out for ages. I'm waiting for him to come back. I'm waiting for Alpha Sissoko from QRM to come back. Sim Ben Yusuf, he did come back. He played a game and I think he got red carded, so happy days. So there's a couple in my collection that I am keeping an eye out. McIntyre as well as another one. He's got a 0 last 5, if I can put it that way. So when we get any hints that he might be coming back and things like that, those could potentially help you in those capped divisions, like in your under 23s and in your Ultimate Champions tournament.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was asking for his caps. Flip says you saved him 1 spot on a Ricardinho, so thank you for that. And Kai says Ben White is a decent shout for 0, but has had a score in the 60s, apparently. I don't know if you'd love to be suggesting Arsenal defence at the moment. We seem to be having a bit of a dip there, but, you know.
I really don't mind about our defence. I think before the loss and things like that, we've basically had the best defensive record in the Premier League. Obviously, there was the 4-3 win that we had, which was that entertaining game where Declan got us over the line at the end. But I think because I'm starting to get that feeling, and yes, I'm a Gunner supporter, so don't take me to the bank, because I might be thinking with my heart and not my head, but because we're playing decent football, and no matter who we play, I think any player in our team is potentially a good selection for any given game week. If you look at Gabriel, for argument's sake, he scored, I think, 120 odd base points without the clean sheet. So you imagine selecting them with the clean sheet potential, with club actions, and with their possessive, defensive, and offensive stats. I would say 8 or 9 out of 10 times they will perform for you. So that's just from my side.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's just, like Kai says, I just need a bit more confidence. But in UC, yes, absolutely, because unlike other fantasy games, it does really kind of add positive for the defense, regardless of the clean sheet or not. So absolutely. And Thinker says, if you find any Speedy, let him know on the 0 players. he's loving your outside shout. Okay, guys, I think with that we will wrap up. It's been a good little extended stream, and we've got to ask some questions, and there's been plenty of chance for you guys to win packs. So this is your last chance. If you're hanging in now and you've just come in for whatever reason from work or whatever, then quickly scroll through the chat and find out how you can enter. And don't forget to DM Speedy as well. You need to have said something in the chat, been a little active in the chat, and then DM Speedy to get in the league for the gold pack. We've got one more question. Jesus, who's new to the channel, welcome to the Nim fam. What about quiz basketball? It will start in 19 minutes, right? Or will there be a delay? He's asking.
That's correct. I'm going to have to try and be speedy and hopefully start it soon. But we were having so much fun. But I will put an announcement out if we delay it by 30 minutes or so. But I'll see what I can do in 18 minutes for you guys.
All right, then. I think that's my cue to get off of here. And Speedy and Q. See what I did? With that, a very, very Merry Christmas from us. Thank you all so much. I now only have 40 subscribers to get before the end of the year, and it would be great to get to that 7k for Christmas. So if you've enjoyed any of this, please do like and subscribe and share. Hit that notification bell if any of this has been helpful, because it'll let you guys know when we are going live. And it's a Merry Christmas from me and a Merry Christmas from Speedy, right, Speed?
Merry Christmas to everyone. If you travel safely, enjoy the time with your family, friends and things like that, and have a blessed one. In that spare time in between mixing with the family, don't forget about Ultimate Champions. And yeah, we'll see you on the stream, obviously, in the new year. We've got the private league, the Nimbus Festive Cup, that will run us right basically up until we have our first stream in January, and it'll be exciting to discuss it and see how you guys all got on. So once again, thank you very much for your support, and all the best.
Bye, guys. Nympria out.
Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can't come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard.